Continues.
Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro earlier today urged President Trump not to get into a, quote, Afghanistan-style forever war. The surge of military forces into the Caribbean is now called Operation Southern Spear, for the Pentagon to make this a named operation, which for the military triggers specific funding authorities and legal frameworks such as combat pay, deployment benefits, and oversight requirements by Congress, and may also affect the rules of engagement.
Fox's Jennifer Griffin. The president has reportedly been briefed by Pentagon officials about military options, including possible land strikes. So far, the U.S. has only conducted deadly strikes on suspected drug boats in international waters off South America. Pushback in Charlotte, North Carolina, after reports a federal immigration enforcement operation could begin this weekend.
We will not confuse cruelty with safety, and we will not allow the politics of intimidation to define who belongs here.
City Councilman-elect J.D. Arias in the Chicago suburb of Broadview, state police and sheriff's officers were the ones making arrests today as some protesters outside an ICE facility resisted efforts to keep the street clear. Just getting word that a longtime college football coach shot yesterday in California has died. John Beam was shot in the field house at Laney College in Oakland.
John was so much more than a coach. He was a father figure to thousands of not only men, but young women in our community.
Piedmont Police Chief Frederick Chaves at a briefing just being held. Police are calling the killing a targeted incident and say Beam knew the suspect, who is now in custody, but still no word on a motive. Beam and his players at Laney were featured on a Netflix series in the 2020 season. A mixed finish on Wall Street. The Dow down 309 at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
This is the time of the year most of us are checking off our holiday gift list. Identity thieves have lists too, and your personal information might be on that list. Protect your identity with LifeLock. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every single second and alerts you to the threats you could miss yourself. If your identity is stolen, your own U.S.-based restoration specialist is going to work to fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Make this season about joy, not identity theft, with LifeLock. Save up to 40% off your first year at LifeLock.com with the promo code BECK. Terms apply.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Ultra, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Ultra helps Mike fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs, so he can wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Accused killer Brian Walsh is found competent to stand trial in Massachusetts after a psychiatric evaluation.
Walsh is accused of killing his wife Anna and dismembering her body in their home near Boston in 2023. The 39-year-old mother's body was never found. Investigators allege Walsh searched ways to dispose of a body on an iPad. He was arrested after officials found blood and a bloody, damaged knife in the basement. He faces several charges, including murder, and has pleaded not guilty. Walsh is already serving time in a separate case after pleading guilty to art fraud charges. The defense had asked for a change of venue, citing extensive media coverage, the judge denying the motion.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin. A jury is expected to be seated next week, with the trial set to begin December 1st. A federal bankruptcy judge says he'll explain in a hearing on Tuesday why he's planning to approve a settlement for OxyContin maker Purdue Pharma, which faces thousands of lawsuits over the opioid epidemic. The U.S. Supreme Court rejected a settlement last year. All clear at a zoo in Indiana where a chimpanzee escaped earlier today.
The Indianapolis Zoo confirming the chimpanzee has been sedated and safely returned to its enclosure after somehow escaping, forcing the park into a code red. With people ordered to shelter in place, this guest told to head back to her car.
Well, I was hoping that it wasn't Caesar. Planet of the Apes taking over. Most definitely rolled my windows up, as they said, and kind of waited, and was most definitely had my head on a swivel.
The Indianapolis Zoo investigating how the chimp escaped, saying that no one was injured and that the zoo is now back open. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
Recapping Wall Street, the Dow drops 309 points, extending yesterday's sell-off. The S&P also in the red, slipping 3 points, but the NASDAQ up 30 points. I'm Lisa Brady. This is Fox News.
The Drive with Curtis Allen and Evan Stone on ESPN 93.5. All right, that is Coach Brad Underwood. Part of his presser today, meeting the media ahead of tomorrow night's game with Colgate. Stop it.
First, I'd like to announce...
Stop. I almost said it. Stop it.
That is the epitome of I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Hey, I'm just here so I don't get fined.
You think?
I'm just...
We love him, though.
Part of the job, man. Part of the job.
So y'all can sit here and ask me all the questions y'all want to. I'm going to answer with the same answer, so y'all can shoot if y'all please.
Yeah.
But we wanted to get to some of the injury updates. I hate you so much right now.
Excited to have him on board and
I hate you.
Why?
You made me do that. That's not Freudian. Freudian
slip?
Is it a Freudian slip?
Sorry about that slip up there. I have no idea how that happened.
I don't know.
Is that one of them means naughty stuff and the other one means subliminal? That's what it was.
A Freudian slip is not naughty.
We made some mistakes. We've had some setbacks.
Well, there's something where it's naughty.
You're thinking of a nip slip.
I was not thinking of that at all.
Oh.
Although all humans have those, but that's not what I was thinking of.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
I was thinking of Schrodinger's cat.
Who?
Schrodinger.
I don't know. Schrodinger.
Listen, if you were a philosopher, like I am.
A philosophizer?
You would know.
Wait, hold on.
No.
Yeah, coming through on the text line, too.
ESPN Radio 93.5, it is The Drive. I'm Curtis Allen. Evan Stone off today. Evan with some family for the weekend, and hopefully he had some safe travels. I know he's headed to Southern Illinois. We've got an all-star lineup, though, today with Evan out. Stinks for him to be gone. The one and only, the great Kyle Toss, going to join us at 3:25 from Illini Inquirer. We'll talk Illini hoops ahead of tonight's game at State Farm Center with the Illini taking on Colgate. Carson Gordy from WICS is going to join us. He's going to talk football and basketball with us, maybe even a little bit IHSA playoffs as well. Carson covers it all. Robert Rosenthal is going to join us at 4:05 as well. And very pleased to have in studio with us. This just kind of worked out. Cooper O'Kelly from Champagne Room and Big Ten Plus will get you up on the YouTube channel right now, sir. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here.
Happy to have you. If people aren't familiar, give them a little bit of your background and what you do for the Champagne Room, which I know Kyle worked there as well at one point in time, but and your work with Big Ten Plus.
Yeah. I'm a football reporter for the Champagne Room this season. Been following Coach Bielema's crew all season long. Big Ten Plus, just some random play-by-play, color commentary, sideline reporting for a pretty wide range of Illinois sports. So
yeah,
do a little bit of it all there.
When you've done the play-by-play for Big Ten Plus, has it been? I know you told me your name. Today. We met today. This is true. We met today, and I was like, man, I know that name. And then he mentioned doing play-by-play for Big Ten Plus. I was like, did you do some volleyball recently? And he was like, yeah, I did. So what else have you done with Big Ten Plus when you talk about sideline report and some of that stuff too?
Yeah, so earlier this season, you happened to catch me doing some color commentary for volleyball.
Mm-hmm.
Got a bit of a good experience in that realm, played in high school, so a lot of volleyball. I did color commentary for the Illini men's hoops exhibition against Illinois State earlier, so people might come to mind.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, we're pleased to have you in the studio with us, and thanks for hanging out. Cooper's going to be with us for the first portion of the show. So let's jump right into it. It's obviously an Illini-heavy show. It is crossover season, with pretty much every athletic program's got something going on right now, but in particular this weekend, big weekend for football and basketball. You cover football. Let's start there. The Illini Geese Memorial Stadium tomorrow, taking on Maryland, a Maryland team, Cooper, that, well, they force turnovers. They've got a really exciting young freshman quarterback, but other than that, it has not been a fantastic run for Coach Loxley's bunch.
It hasn't, but still keeping those turnovers in mind, keeping that young freshman quarterback in mind,
Mm-hmm.
It kind of seems to me like this is going to be a pretty big test for the Illini, despite Vegas bookmakers thinking that it might be a 14-point game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it being that out of reach.
Well, and I talked a little bit about this with Evan yesterday. Evan, he was okay with the 14 points, and I here's why I'm on the fence. It's because the secondary of Maryland, it is a strength, quite frankly, of this team. They are second in the Big Ten in forced turnovers, 10th nationally. They get a lot of interceptions, man. And I know that Luke Altmyer and this Illini offense hasn't turned the ball over a whole lot this year. But if there were a moment in that first quarter where maybe a tipped ball, a forced throw, something like those are the little things that could keep a team like Maryland in this game and make them a little bit more pesky than usual.
Yeah, and they might be pesky, they might stick around, but like you said, this is an offense that has held onto the ball, that hasn't made a ton of mistakes. I mean, when you're playing with a great senior quarterback like Altmyer, those kind of things kind of are put in the back of your mind, those mistakes and turnovers.
From your time, and again, if you're just joining us, this is Cooper O'Kelly from the Champaign Room and Big Ten Plus joining us in studio for the first part of the show. Cooper, from your time covering the Illini this year, what are some things maybe you feel like aren't talked about enough with whether that be the offensive side of the ball or whatever the case may be? What do you think more people should be paying attention to with this Illini team, especially down the stretch, the last 3 or 4 games?
In terms of the offense, I think versatility is something that comes to mind, right? People talk about Altmyer, of course, and you should. He's a great quarterback, but you have a trio of running backs in Lawfrey and Fagan and Valentine that are all very talented and bring their own skill sets. But also, you have the receiving weapons. You have Bowick in the red zone. You have, do-it-all Hank Beatty. I think that those players don't get as much love as they really should.
House call Hank or Heisman Hank? Which one are you going with?
I'm going to go house call.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Love to hear from you on the Max Twin City Recycling text line. 217-359-2255 is your number. And by the way, tomorrow's game is going to be gorgeous out. Sunny, 72 at kickoff, 2:30 kickoff at Geese Memorial Stadium. If you don't have your tickets yet, here's the last-minute chance during the show for you to potentially score some tickets, courtesy of Parlor Donuts and Jets Pizza. Just text Illini to 217-359-2255, ILLINI to 217-359-2255, and you just might score a pair of tickets. You just might be sitting next to me tomorrow. I hope that doesn't bother you too much. Your chance to win, courtesy of Parlor Donuts and Jets Pizza. Cooper, what have you seen over the last few weeks defensively that makes you feel good? Let's put it like this. That makes you feel good about how the Illini defense could handle a pretty dynamic freshman quarterback in Malik Washington Jr.
I think in terms of slowing down a guy like Washington who can do it with his arm but can also do it on the ground, having guys like Gabe Akis and James Thompson setting the edge and making sure that they can bring that pocket in on a young guy like that, that's going to be huge. I mean, obviously, people were very down on that defensive unit against Washington. It was rough. People were calling for Aaron Henry's head almost.
Yeah.
But I do think that, 2 weeks ago, they had a big-time comeback. That defensive unit looked really good against Rutgers.
Right. And Rutgers, for what you were just mentioning, the rushing attack of the Illini. Rutgers, was it 305 on the ground last week? Am I getting that number right?
It might have been even above 350.
I mean, it was over 300 yards on the ground last week against Maryland. So there is, to me, if you did have concerns about what this Maryland defense can do, what the secondary can do, use that veteran offensive line, use your rushing attack, run the football, and just keep it simple for Luke Altmyer. He's looked very comfortable all year. I keep saying the Indiana game was kind of the outlier, Cooper, but other than that, Luke has looked very, very comfortable in the pocket, and I feel like should be primed for a big day. But taking care of the football against this Maryland team, I know if you look at Maryland's record, how they've lost the last couple of games, you go, But they've kind of snake bitten the Illini for the last few meetings. In fact, if they were to win this game, I'm not saying Maryland will, but if they were, they would move to 3-1 against the Illini over the last 4 meetings, and they would be 2-2 in the Big Ten. I mean, they're not out of the realm of finding a bowl game. I know that's something that still matters to Maryland and could be, I don't know if saving grace is the right word, but it could be something that could help keep Loxley around at least for another year because his seat is very hot right now.
And especially with him having a hot seat, I feel like you would be surprised to, see how talented this Maryland football team really is. I mean, when you hear about a coach who is on the verge of maybe getting fired, I don't know if they're really going to pull the trigger on that, but you think of a team that has all-time collapses, maybe not a lot of talent.
Yeah.
But this team really has talent. I mean, playing against the Terps is not easy.
Right. 217-359-2255 is your number for the Max Twin City Recycling text line. Cooper O'Kelly from the Champagne Room and Big Ten Plus in the studio with us. And it's about that time, Cooper, we do something around here where we get a check of the Illini headlines. So we'll get into that real quick on ESPN 93.5. You know that the men's basketball team are in action tonight. Colgate. We'll talk about that plenty throughout the day. And, of course, tomorrow's game with Maryland. Here's one for you. Illini women basketball on the road tonight at Oregon State. Tip-off is at 8 o'clock on ESPN+. Illini volleyball back home tonight as well at Huff Hall. They've got a weekend of WUs or UWs, depending on your perspective. They play the Washington Huskies tonight. It's jorts night, so dress appropriately. Also, hydration helmet giveaway night. What's a hydration helmet, Cooper? Do you know? Do you have any idea?
No guess.
Is it one of those helmets like you put the beers or the pop or whatever in the helmet and the straws? I hope that's what it is.
If it is, I might have to head down to the volleyball game.
I've got the jorts. I need the helmet. That's on Big Ten Plus tonight as well. A couple more for you. Illini cross country were on the road in Oklahoma yesterday. Top three finishers in the men's 10K included Joshua Daggett with a time of 31:58, Adam Patel 32:30, and Paul Mullins at 32:40. The top three finishers in the women's 6K included Nora Wallen, who was in the top 25 with a time of 21:15, Avril Andre, a time of 21:58, and Maria Buja with a time of 22:29. And one more for you. Illini swimming and diving head to Iowa next weekend for the Hawkeye Invitational. Some of that will also be on Big Ten Plus. And those are your Illini headlines. Will you be checking out either game this weekend, Cooper? Are you going to be at State Farm Center tonight or Geese Memorial Stadium tomorrow?
I think I'm going to be watching the men's basketball game from my couch tonight.
There you go.
I will be in the press box tomorrow during the Maryland game.
I think I'm there with you. I don't know if I'm going to be in the press box. I'm up and down with that. I might be. I might be joining you. But I'm pretty sure Saturday I'm going to be at Geese Memorial Stadium, probably with the kiddos, and have some fun. It's good. Again, a gorgeous day is expected on Saturday, so looking forward to that. One of the last nice days we're probably going to have in 2025. I don't know, think we could get maybe we could get 72 on Christmas. I don't know. I'm not expecting it, though. I'm not expecting it. 217-359-2255. What are you expecting? Here's one from our guy Randy Miller on the Max Twin City Recycling text line. Randy in Urbana says, Loxley gets fired on Monday. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know about all that. You think he really is going to give a fireable performance against the Illini?
Well, here's what I think. We talked with a writer named Sam June yesterday. Sam works for The Athletic now. He was formerly with the Baltimore Sun and the Washington Post. He does a great job covering Maryland athletics. And he said the seat is definitely hot. Anybody you talk to around there says this is not a great time to be Loxley. However, for a school like Maryland, his buyout is about $13.5 million. And so there's concern that number might be too big for Maryland. Whereas at an Ohio State, an Alabama, a Penn State, for example, all right, with Franklin and what he got, 50-some million, it's just too big of a number, so he might be around for another year. And we also talked a little bit as well about the value of keeping him there because of the recruits he landed on the defensive side of the ball. And with the transfer portal, what that might mean to the roster. If he's gone, what are they going to keep, they've got a great group of safeties. Are they going to keep those kids, or are they going to end up in the portal looking to go somewhere else and play for somebody else?
And they easily could, right? You lose out on your head coach. There's nothing really tying you back to the University of Maryland, especially they have some building blocks, right, on defense. And, of course, true freshman Malik Washington at quarterback. It's not really a bad core of players to build around.
It feels like you're one or two recruits away from maybe turning this thing back around. I'm not saying a great juggernaut, right, but a very competitive football team could be in the future for Maryland again, and maybe but I know that you've heard a lot out of that side of the country. A lot of Maryland supporters, a lot of Maryland fans have heard the, look, this is on me from Loxley a lot over the last 2 seasons. So it is intriguing how this game could play out in regards to his future. But maybe Randy's right. Loxley gets fired on Monday, Randy says on the text line. What do you think? Let us know, 217-359-2255. Cooper O'Kelly in the studio for about a moment or two more. You got a chat with Gene Honda on the way. Is that right? You told me that off the air. Tell us about that real quick. And of course, Gene does a great job doing PA announcements. So, tell me how that came together and what that's going to be.
Yeah, Gene's been great. He's a university alumni. He's an alumni of WPGU, our student-run radio station that I do a lot of stuff for on campus. And he just kind of reached out. Whatever we need, he's there to help. So I thought it'd be great to bring him in. We're doing a Q&A. He's going to be live on air with me. So looking forward to talking to him.
That'll be awesome. And let people know where they can find you on the socials, man, if they want to follow your work with the Champagne Room or the next time you're going to be on Big Ten Plus or the interview with Gene.
Yeah, it's at Cooper O'Kelly on X. Just toss me a follow on there. Post a lot about the writing work I'm doing, the radio stuff, the Big Ten Plus stuff.
There you go. He's a man of the people like we all are here at The Drive. Cooper, appreciate you coming in, man. Really do. And as I mentioned, it is an Illini-heavy show today. On the way in just a few, I think it's catching on, calling Kyle Tosk, the great Kyle Tosk. He's up next to talk hoops. It is The Drive.
Hi, this is Steve from Good Vibes.
And I'm Canelo Luga, linebacker and special teams specialist.
KO, that's a lot of skill sets.
What's your point?
Well, kickers kick, guards block, receivers catch.
Is there a point coming?
Well, yeah, you have to cover running backs, quarterbacks, tight ends, kickoff and punt returners, even loose balls.
So you want to know how I'm a specialist? Simple. My job is to put the guy with the ball firmly on the ground. I specialize in firmly.
So Sony specializes in video processing. They have the skills to make any panel deliver a better picture. Better as in more color, smoother motion handling, higher contrast, everything that makes sports on TV look real. From Sony cameras and mics used on the field to showing the game in your home like you have sideline tickets.
Well, we still want you to come see us at the stadium.
Oh, heck yeah. Live football's the best. But Sony is firmly in second.
Coldwell Banker Real Estate Group's Diana Foltz, recipient of Champaign County's Realtor of the Year.
When I see Coldwell Banker, can I expect that from agents? Is that a you philosophy or is that a company philosophy?
We have a great culture in our office. Our culture is one of serving. So I think you'll find that with most of our agents, but it really is a highlight for us to be able to serve our clients well, because we don't want to just sell one house or help them buy one house and never do another deal with them or never talk to them again. We want to be involved in their lives.
Why do you like what you do?
I really enjoy helping either a buyer or seller to get to the next chapter, and they're relying on Reggie and I to help them achieve their next goal.
You're their realtor.
We're their realtor. It's Taylor Foltz team, Coldwell Banker Real Estate Group. You can find me on the internet at dianafoltz.com. Cell phone number is 217-840-4133, and my email is diana@dianafoltz.com.
People always warn me about getting a credit card, but now I know better. SEFQ helped me pick out the right card and taught me how to use it the smart way. And with great rates and no annual fees, I'm building credit like a pro.
You can build your credit like a pro too, with features that help you reach your goals, plus no annual fees, fraud protection, and ways to earn more along the way.
If only my plans were that easy to manage.
Insured by NCUA. Protect yourself and the ones you love. Get your flu shot now. You can spread the flu virus before you even know you're infected. Vaccination is your first step to protect your family against this season's flu strains and potentially serious complications. Vaccinations available for ages 6 months and older. Visit a drive-through flu clinic at a Christie Clinic near you. No appointment necessary. For convenient dates, times, and locations of Christie Clinic drive-through flu clinics, visit ChristieClinic.com. Get the shot, not the flu.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we
Bulldog Disposal in Muhammad is excited to introduce a brand new service, the Doggy Bag. It's a 6 cubic yard dumpster bag that's perfect for all your household cleanouts, small remodels, or repairs. Have pieces of an old roof you need to get rid of? Use the Doggy Bag. Have a garage full of junk? Use the Doggy Bag. Bulldog will drop the bag off and let you keep it as long as you need to. Then, once you've got it filled, they'll come back and pick it up. Find out more online at bulldoggybag.com.
The Drive with Curtis Allen and Evan Stone on ESPN 93.5.
ESPN Radio 93.5. It is The Drive. I'm Curtis Allen. Evan is off today. It is an Illini heavy, very heavy Friday on the show. Coming up in just a bit, Carson Gordy from WICS is going to be joining us. Also, Robert Rosenthal going to be joining us as well. So we're going to talk plenty of basketball and football. Of course, we got to do our Friday toast. I'll get you my score predictions for the weekend as well. Might even throw a couple of curveballs at you. But before we get to any of that, there's one man we have to talk to, and he's the only one we call the great.
Nobody knows Illini basketball like the great and powerful Tosk.
Kyle Tosk is on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line. Kyle, how you doing on this beautiful Friday?
I'm great, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. You have so much going on. You are a man about town these days. I saw you a bunch on TV during the Illini-Texas Tech game. You're doing great stuff with Illini Inquirer, and tonight I'm assuming you'll be at State Farm Center for the Illini's fourth game in this homestand to start the season against Colgate.
I sure will, yeah. I texted you the other night. I'm like, I got to get used to the fact that any time now there could be a semi-close-up shot that includes me in it on national TV for a lot of people to see. So I got to be careful what I'm doing sitting there on media row.
Well, and, you know, that seat you've got is legendary. You're in our guy Derek Piper's seat. Well, used to be. Yeah. Now it's your seat. So you gotta hold it in high regard, my man.
I do. Absolutely.
Well, the series history with Colgate and the Illini, it's not a big one. They've only played each other a few times, I think 5 times in program history. And for Colgate, you know, a team that had a really great run. They've had a few great runs in the NCAA tournament. This is the first of a 7-game road trip for them. Not a great task to start with. No, you know. What are you expecting? What have you heard as well in regards to maybe the Illini injury report going into tonight's game at State Farm Center?
Yeah, first of all, Colgate is a team that has a program that has proven here in recent seasons that they can give high major teams a little bit of a battle. Even, you know, in their season opener this year, they went to East Lansing, saw Michigan State, and that was a pretty close game. That was a single-digit game at the under-8 timeout in the second half. Michigan State ended up winning that game by 11. Even last year, a year that for Colgate was the worst that they've had since 2017, they still were really competitive with Syracuse, lost by 2, lost by just 11 to that Kentucky team that Illinois then fell to in the NCAA tournament that went to the Elite Eight. So this is a well-coached team, a good program. They run really good offense. They've had great offenses under Matt Langel, who's been there for 15 years now. And they schedule high majors every year, and they're usually pretty competitive. So it's kind of one of those sandwich spots in the schedule, too, where you're just coming off a big-time win against Texas Tech on Tuesday, and you had a big one on Wednesday at the United Center against Alabama. Then there's this one kind of just sitting in the middle there, late tip Friday night, so you hope it's not a trap spot for Illinois where they're kind of sleepwalking through it and Colgate hangs around a little too long. But we'll see what happens. Illinois will have to come ready to play and can't take Colgate lightly, or it could be a Michigan State situation where they got to go full blow with their starters in the last 5-6 minutes of the game, which you'd hope to avoid. As far as the injuries, we'll see. We'll see. It's a lot of game time decisions is kind of the term that keeps coming out of Brad Underwood's mouth. I think it is positive, though, in terms of what he shared yesterday. Mihajlo Petrovic has been in practice here recently, and he warmed up on Tuesday night, full uniform, didn't end up playing. But it feels like he's close. I'd be a little bit surprised if he didn't play at least a little bit tonight, and I think that'll be huge for Illinois just to get him back. And like we saw with Stojakovic, it's probably going to be a rusty first game and trying to figure out how to fit within the flow of Illinois' offense. But you want to get him out there and hopefully get his feet wet in this game as opposed to Alabama on Wednesday. And then Brandon Lee as well, similarly working his way back from the ankle injury. Sounds like he'll be in uniform tonight, is what Brad Underwood said yesterday, but we'll see if he gets on the floor as well. But we'll find out. It should be an interesting one tonight, but hopefully one that Illinois can take care of.
Well, without getting too far ahead of ourselves, I wanted to ask you about Brandon Lee. We've talked a lot about my guys, the Balkan Brutes, as I have dubbed them, and when they will be back on the court at different points in time. But what will Brandon mean for this Illini team when he's cleared to go?
Yeah, he'll give them another option in the backcourt that's different than the other guys that they have. And we'll see what his role ultimately looks like. I think it's going to be really crowded. That's the one thing for him that coming into the season, you thought maybe, the expectation wasn't that he was going to play a big role, but it felt like going into the year maybe there was going to be something there for him. I wonder, with Petrovic coming back now, and the fact that you got Kylan Boswell and Keaton Wagler playing really, really high-level basketball right now, and it's clear that Brad Underwood is not going to turn away from either of those guys, particularly. You were never turn away from Boswell, but Wagler, what he's done so far, Brad said he'd be playing this many minutes regardless of who was healthy and who wasn't. So I think that does kind of push Brandon Lee out a little bit. I still think there'll be a role for him. I don't think it's necessarily going to be consistent night to night, but all they really need from him is just to come in and give Illinois another tough, hard-playing defensive guy. That's something that he said he focused on. He's physical, and a guy that can take advantage if his number's called and there's some foul trouble, there's some more injuries, there's just a game that plays itself out to where you need another guard to give you 5-6 minute stretches in a game. I think he can thrive playing in this spaced-out offense as a guy who really likes to attack downhill and is really physical, finishes through contact. We saw that in the Illinois State exhibition. He just rammed his head downhill and got to the free throw line and didn't miss a shot at the rim. So I think there's a role for him, and I think he's a little bit of a change-up from the other guards you have, but it's probably going to be one where it's game to game. If the game calls for it, maybe he gives you a spurt here or there as opposed to somebody who's going to be firmly in the rotation.
ESPN Radio 93.5, it is The Drive. If you are just joining us, our guy, the great Kyle Tosk, is on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line. Of course, Kyle doing a fantastic job covering Illini hoops for Illini Inquirer. I believe it was Tuesday, was a huge day for pretty much all collegiate sports outside of maybe football in regards to national signings, and the Illini got a pretty good one in Landon Davis. What can you tell people about Landon and what he could mean for this team going forward in the future?
Yeah, he's a guy that they evaluated for a while and is one of those that he didn't have a whole lot of high major offers, but is one that Illinois really likes because he fits the mold of what they're looking for in the front court. And I think it's going to take him a little bit of time. You think of kind of the Jason Jackstis pass, so where I think there's a little bit more offensive skill in Landon's game right now than what Jason Jackstis came in with, but I think from a physical standpoint, it's probably going to be similar. He's a guy who needs to add a lot of strength, and I'm not sure how much he'll help as a freshman compared to the other two guys that Illinois expects to sign in this class with Ethan Brown and Lucas Maria, who I think can be more instant impact guys. But I think this is a longer-term play for Illinois with Landon, who I think can develop into a really solid rotational high major big man. He's got some skill. He's a guy who's been a post player for most of his high school career until this past AAU season, and now going into his senior season in Iowa. He's grown up as a post guy, but he played with RFN Dean, who is a top 15 prospect in the class of 2027, 7'2", really, really hyper athletic, stud 5-man prospect in AAU for Iowa United this past AAU season, which kind of slid him down to the 4, which is what Illinois projects him to be, as kind of that stretch 4, a little bit of a playmaking 4. He's flashed some passing and ability to play through him a little bit. And so I think he, in the similar realm of some of the guys that Illinois has had here recently in the front court that can help space the floor and just provide this offense with a lot of different things from a front court spot. I think that's the hope with Landon Davis down the line as you develop him. The physical piece is where he'll have to grow a lot because I think he'll need a couple years to get to where he needs to be. But I think Illinois really likes what his long-term potential is, even if he's not a guy who's going to come in and be an instant impact guy right away.
Great stuff, Kyle. So that's the future. I want to go back to the past just a little bit, just back to Tuesday night, because it was a great night for Illini hoops with a big early win over Texas Tech. I saw a lot of high expectations on the socials from fans after that win. And, I feel like fans should have some pretty great expectations for this particular team. But where do you view Illinois right now after that Texas Tech win? Is it too early to start talking Final Four, Tosk?
It's never too early. Why not? Let's start booking the tickets. Hey, it's in Indy. That'd be a short trip to make if Illinois can get there this year.
There you go.
No, I think I'm pretty high on Illinois from what I've seen so far. I think there's reason to be really excited about what this team can be, because they're not healthy right now at all. Right. And the fact that they're missing probably their best player, if not one of their best players, the way that Kylan Boswell started the season, maybe he gives Tomislav Ivicic a run for that title. But to be able to beat a team like Texas Tech, who I think is absolutely a Final Four contender. Now, they were missing a couple rotational guys as well, including a big-time shot blocker. But to beat a team like that, with the way J.T. Toppin played in that game, he gave you an All-American National Player of the Year performance in your home building.
Yep.
And Illinois still found a way to win. And their offense on a night where it looked a lot different than it had the first two games, from a team that made 17 threes in game one, and they made 0 in the second half against Texas Tech and still beat a top 11 team in the country with 2 potential All-Americans on it, and just showed you everything that had you excited about this team coming in. And to add Andrei Stojakovic now to this mix, which there were questions just with how much time he'd missed and what the rest of the pieces looked like. Where was he going to fit into that mix? Well, the answer is he can be an alpha for you offensively. He might not have to do it every night, but he's a guy that you can isolate. He can just go get you a bucket, and he can just dominate individual matchups against a team that has the type of talent that Texas Tech has. And just to see this team as early in the season as it was, respond to a big Texas Tech run and close out a game that was close late, was within a couple possessions. They just made plays at the end of the game. They were relentless attacking the rim downhill, got a ton of free throws. I think there's reason to be really, really excited, particularly with what this offense can be. But I think even on a night where J.T. Toppin goes for 35, I thought there were some encouraging things defensively down the stretch of the game, just seeing the effect of adding Cam Crocker to the staff and some of the different looks that they threw at Texas Tech in the second half, that while Toppin still cooked you for the majority of the night, you bought some stops down the stretch there, and you just did some different things. You made an adjustment to put Kylan Boswell on him. You were a little bit more aggressive defensively. I just think that there were so many positives to take out of that game that are replicable for this team, and I just think there's so much talent here. And the fact that you're now going to add Tomislav Ivicic, who could be one of the better big men in the country, an elite shooter, and a guy that can give you another dimension as a guy you can play through, and then Mihajlo Petrovic, who gives you another change-up on the bench, a different type of guard than the 2 guards you already have who have been outstanding. I think the sky's the limit for this team. There's still going to be room for growth, and you're going to have to fit all those pieces together, and you're going to get a lot more tests here in non-conference play, but that was a really, really encouraging win on Tuesday night, and I think there's valid reason to be really, really excited about the potential of this group coming out of it.
As always, great stuff. It is Kyle Tosk on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line with us. Kyle, one more for you in regards to tonight's game. Now, I believe it was 2 years ago that Illinois and Colgate played, and it was a pretty spirited game then. But at that time, Jalen Cox was a freshman. Brady Cummins was a sophomore. Those guys are still on the roster, and they're leading this team. What, if fans aren't familiar with their game, what do you expect out of them tonight at State Farm Center?
Yeah, Cox is kind of their leader, and he's been there now for 3 years, stepped into a starting role last year and had a pretty good season, and now is kind of their top dog offensively. He runs the show. They'll put him in ball screens. They'll let him operate offensively, get them into their offense, and he's a tough guy. He's quick. He can get downhill, really likes to attack. He's somebody that I expect Kylan Boswell to be matched up with early and often in this game to try and shut off some of those drives, and the way he's able to create. He's averaging 15 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists so far this year, so he can do a little bit of everything for them. Had a nice game against Michigan State in the opener with 12, 8, and 7. And then, Cummins was a guy who he's their most experienced guy. He's their longest tenured player. He's made 48 starts for them. Gives them some size on the wing, and that's something that you really need against this Illinois team, or they will pick you apart, matchup hunt, and go to work with guys like Stojakovic and Boswell. Like, they just need a bigger, longer. If you're going up against this Illinois team, you better have at least a couple bigger, longer, a little bit more built guys on the wing to match up with some of these individuals. And so Cummins gives them that. I still think it's probably, you get a matchup with Andrei Stojakovic isolated on him. I still like that for Illinois, but he just gives them a little bit more positional size than some of the teams had that Illinois saw early in the year. And really, the guy who's gotten off to the best start for them is Sam Wright, who's their 5-man. He can step out and shoot. They'll put him in some pick and pops. Colgate really does a nice job of spacing the floor around their bigs, similarly to Illinois, and they move the ball well. They cut well. Wright's a big part of that, but he can play in the post as well. He's gotten off to a really nice start to the season, scored 16 or more points in every game. So that'll be a task for the Illini front court to handle as well. But this is a team, as you said there, that they've got guys that have been in these games. They've come to these places. 2 of them were here in Champaign, the 2 guys you mentioned 2 years ago, and that was a pretty competitive game. I mean, Illinois handled it, but it wasn't just a walk in the park, 17-point game, and Colgate was within 10 or so in the second half of that game. So Illinois will have to be ready to play tonight. And I tend to think that this particular Illinois team is such a mismatch for some of these lower-level teams that across 40 minutes they should be able to pull away. But you got to be ready to play because this Colgate team's got a lot of experience and guys that have been here before and aren't going to be afraid coming into State Farm Center.
2 more for you, and then I'll let you go, sir. And they're easy ones. The first one is from the Max Twin City Recycling text line. A familiar name probably to you. Our guy Big Def says, "Hey, Kyle, Matt Langle graduated from my high school. He's 6 years my senior. So make sure you tell Langle that Big Def said hello tonight. Can you do that for us?"
I'll do that, Big Def. Great to hear from you.
And one more. Are you familiar with how your nickname, The Great, has caught on? Are you aware of this? Because we're getting it on Twitter.
Yeah, I am. Those may or may not have been 2 friends of mine that were clowning around a little bit with that nickname. But yeah, look, I'll take it, man. It's a compliment. I appreciate you starting to spread it.
Well, so you're telling me that Greg Terry and Sam Holvey, they weren't being honest when they called you The Great on Twitter a moment ago? I'm a little disappointed.
Maybe.
Okay. Oh,
Maybe.
They better put some respect on that name. Yeah, hopefully. All right, Kyle Tosk from Illini Inquirer, man. Enjoy the game tonight and hope to talk to you very soon, okay?
Absolutely, man. Appreciate you.
All right, that is our guy, Kyle Tosk. Always a pleasure. Kyle knows ball. He does a fantastic job. Follow him on the socials at KTosk, Tausk, KTosk13. We've got plenty to get to. It's an Illini Heavy Friday on The Drive. I'm Curtis Allen, going solo today aside from our guests, and we've got plenty of great guests. Thanks again to Cooper O'Kelly from Champagne Room and Big Ten Plus for joining me in the studio earlier in the hour. You just heard from Kyle Tosk. We've got Carson Gordy on the way from WICS. Carson does a fantastic job as well for WICS TV covering Illini athletics. We'll talk football and basketball with him. Maybe a little NFL too. And also Robert Rosenthal on the way after the top of the hour. So plenty to get to, plus our Friday toast, and I'll throw some curveballs at you as well. It is The Drive.
And what about Dixie Chopper? What do you got? Dedicated diesel.
The best prices you'll ever get on a Dixie Chopper. I'm looking at right now the list of a classic. The regular retails for $18,200. We're going to sell it for $12,500.
What?
Yep.
You're doing commercial. This is a no-brainer.
Yeah, we're gonna sell some of these things and move them out. A $7,500 Z2. We're going to get rid of for $5,000.
Man.
$20,000 Eagle, 72-inch cut. It's there for $13,500.
Wow. It's the fastest lawnmowers in the world, called Dixie Chopper. Go to Dedicated Diesel. How would I reach Andy for that?
They can call Andy at 217-328-0562. Visit him at 1313 Triumph Drive in Urbana, or check him out on Dedicated Equipment on Facebook.
Christie Clinic has been helping patients win the fight against cancer for almost 90 years. The Charles W. Christie Cancer Center brings together a multidisciplinary team of providers who recommend and provide treatment options. Their team works together to fight cancer while helping reduce the side effects of treatment and maintain your well-being. A team built to act, a team ready to bring hope when you need it most. Learn more at cancer.christieclinic.com.
Christie Clinic, focused on creating a healthier you.
Let your local Farmers Insurance agent Michael Rumsey put his experience to work for you. Michael Rumsey proudly serves Champaign County families and businesses and is ready to review your existing policies or provide a no-obligation quote today. Call Michael Rumsey at 217-363-3030 to get smarter about your insurance. Again, that's Michael Rumsey at 217-363-3030. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
Take charge of the years ahead with a smart, sound investment strategy and business succession plan. Busey Bank's business and wealth management experts help you envision your best future with powerful insights and proven strategies. Building business and growing wealth since 1868. Busey Bank, proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
Jets Pizza and Stevie J Broadcasting want to send you to the next Fighting Illini home football game. Text Illini to 217-359-2255 and you could be on your way to Geese Memorial Stadium. Stop by Jets Pizza at Neal and Green Street or Round Barn off Springfield and Mattis for their delicious Detroit-style pizza. Text Illini to 217-359-2255 to win tickets for Fighting Illini football from Jets Pizza and Stevie J Broadcasting.
Ho, ho, ho! The first Saturday of December is always marked on my calendar to visit Curtis Orchard between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m.
Oh boy, cookies with Santa. It's such a great tradition at Curtis Orchard with the personalized keepsake ornament, letters to Santa, the new Dig and Play sensory table, and of course, decorating cookies.
Book online, you may even get a picture with me. Ho, ho.
Tap the event tab and get signed up at curtisorchard.com.
Diane, I was going over my naughty or nice list and I think we need to talk.
We're all out of time. Is the plumbing in your home driving you crazy? From leaks to drips or remodels, Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing has you covered. Voted CU's #1 plumbing company, and there's a reason. Treating all customers like friends. Backed up sewers, clogged drains. Call today. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, 217-841-4728, or visit dogtownheatingandair.com. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
The Drive with Curtis Allen and Evan Stone on ESPN 93.5.
It is The Drive, ESPN Radio 93.5. I'm Curtis Allen. Evan is off today. It is an Illini-heavy Friday. Pretty much all Illini for the whole show. And it continues with one of our favorites. Carson Gordy is on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line. Of course, Carson does a great job as a Champaign sports anchor for Fox Illinois and WICS. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, man. We got Illinois Hoops. They're 30-point favorites. Tomorrow they're taking on Maryland in football, 15.5-point favorites. When I was back, a freshman back in the day at U of I, Lovie Smith was head coach, and it was just the beginning of Brad Underwood. So, you don't take this stuff for granted. It's a really good football and basketball program and super fun to cover.
Well, with that in mind, you're covering both. So you tell me where you want to start. You want to start with basketball tonight, and we go from there?
Sounds good to me. Let's go for it.
All right. Well, let's start there. I just talked with Kyle Tosk from Illini Inquirer, and he was, pretty adamant. This is a team with Colgate that the Illini should not be taking lightly. What are your expectations going into tonight's game?
So Colgate, for people that follow college basketball, that's a pretty good name. They make the NCAA tournament pretty often. And actually, one of their old assistant coaches was Cameron Crocker. They had one of the best defenses in the country, and that's kind of how he caught Brad Underwood's eyes. This year, Colgate, I know they're only off to a 1-2 start, but they fought hard against Michigan State. That was an 80-69 ball game in East Lansing. Another close loss, Northeastern, only 3 points. So I'm going to trust Vegas that Illinois is a 30.5-point favorite. They got great size. They're shooting. Well, yeah, I mean, if they cough up a bunch of turnovers and get off to a slow start, it wouldn't be the most shocking thing if it was like 40-35 at halftime. But Illinois is a big favorite tonight. But, yeah, you can't sleep on Colgate. They gave Michigan State quite a fight.
With that in mind, let's back up a little bit and let's talk a little about Tuesday night. What did you see out of that Illini win over Texas Tech? How are you feeling about this team 3 games into the year?
I think so Brad Underwood, he liked last year's team, right? He kept saying they had the highest ceiling. They could go to San Antonio. He loves the positional size. But in hindsight, they were really young. And who could you count on? Unfortunately, you couldn't count on Casper Jones after January, even though how good he was. He's a young freshman. Unfortunately, Will Riley had super inconsistent games. This year, they're older, and Brad Underwood does best with 2-year projects. Like, you think about that Elite Eight team, well, the year before was pretty inconsistent with Matthew Meyer, but you bring back Terrence Shannon, you bring back Coleman. You think about those IO teams. That was 3rd-year IO, 5th-year DeMonte Williams, 5th-year Trent Frazier. So this year, you look at the formula, you brought back Kylan Boswell. You brought back Thomas Ivicic. You add veterans with Zvonimir Ivicic. So I think this team is more mature and able to handle those close 50-50 games. And I think the biggest evidence was the shot selection. Remember last year, I think a lot of people got frustrated. Look how many three-pointers they shot, and they shot the second lowest in the Big Ten, efficiency. So that's a lot of empty possessions in theory. Against Texas Tech, number 11 team in the country, Andrei Stojakovic was incredible cutting to the basket. I mean, 22 points and 11 to 16 shooting. Kylan Boswell was attacking the rim. They only took 22 3-point shots. So I think this offense is just going to be so explosive and keeping them in every game. And that was the takeaway I got. This is an older and more mature team than last year.
What is something you'd like to see a little bit more of out of this Illini team early in the year, Carson?
I would continue just the floor spacing. I think that would be a big deal, continue just to have the big guys off and shoot their 3-point shots, because I think Zvonimir could probably even shoot a little bit more. At Arkansas, he made 37% of his shots last year. I would like to see Keaton Weigler probably get a little more hot from the 3-point line. I thought he played really well against Texas Tech. Got a lot of offensive rebounds, able to cut to the basket, but, he kind of came here as a 3-point shooter, so I think that would be another good dimension to add. So probably those kind of guys getting a little bit more hotter from the outside, because if you're making those threes, you're going to space the court so well, and that's just going to make it so easy for Andre to attack the rim for layups and dunks.
ESPN Radio 93.5. It is The Drive. I'm Curtis Allen. Carson Gordy on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line, and Carson is the Champaign sports anchor for Fox Illinois and WICS Channel 20. Will you be at State Farm Center tonight, or are you going to be at Geese Memorial Stadium tomorrow? What's your schedule like for this weekend?
We're going to be at both, man. We're going to be busy, and also Final Four, Cisno Park, in the state title in 1A, and then a bunch of high school football games that are really good too. I mean, Westville and Arthur, that's Caden Fagan's old school. They're taking each other on tomorrow, and obviously St. Joe is still in the playoffs, so it is so much. It doesn't even feel like work. You know what I mean? You get to cover all these high school sports and college sports. You're busy, but I like it. It's good to stay busy. So, yeah, no, I'll be at the basketball game tonight and football game tomorrow against Maryland.
Well, you mentioned the high school stuff, so good luck to all the area teams playing this weekend in the quarterfinals of the IHSA playoffs. And let's move on to football then real quick. Let's talk about the Illini versus Maryland. This is a Maryland Terps team that they've got a lot of ball hawks, but, man, have they struggled over the last few weeks to close out games. What are you expecting out of this particular weekend for Brett Bielema's bunch against Coach Loxley's bunch?
I think Illinois is going to do really good. Unfortunately, it's funny. Our old morning anchor over in Springfield now covers Maryland sports in Baltimore sports. Mm-hmm. And he was like, 14.5 is too low. He thought the 2 touchdown spread against Maryland was too low. He was thinking 3 touchdowns. He is not high in this Maryland team.
Wow.
Last couple of games given up an average of 45 points, 311 rushing yards to Rutgers in Indiana.
Yeah. And
here's a crazy stat. I was listening to your show actually a little bit earlier. Good show with Cooper.
All right.
They are 17-45 in Big Ten play with Mike Loxley.
Yeah.
17-45.
I mean,
that's like. The Maryland guy, the guy I talked to, AJ Gersh, he's on the hot seat. Like, it is possible this is his last year. because he's been recruiting for the longest time, and they're still just not productive in Big Ten play. I mean, their only Big Ten win is Wisconsin, and in hindsight, that's not that good of a win. I mean, Wisconsin's going to be a 3-9 program, so yeah, we hear a lot of things about Maryland's corners, that they actually have a pretty good secondary. But I think this is going to be a big day for Aiden Moffrey to finally go off. I think Caden Sagan's going to get some carries. And then you just trust Luke Altmaier. Like, you don't think Luke's going to throw 3 picks against a Maryland team. You know what I mean? Like, I think Illinois kind of wins this game like 38-14, those kind of games.
ESPN Radio 93.5, it is The Drive. If you've got a question for Carson, let us know on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, the Max Twin City Recycling text line. Carson's on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line. The number's the same, 217-359-2255. Well, let's go there in regards to Loxley, because let's say he is on the receiving end of a Bielema butt kicking this weekend. Let's say it is just blown out of the water.
Yeah.
Does he make it past Monday? Are they going to let him finish the year? Because, I said this earlier with Cooper, and we talked with a reporter from The Athletic, Sam June, yesterday, and he talked about the only concern. He admitted the seat's super hot, but the concern might be that the buyout would be a little too big for a program like Maryland. But how could you see this playing out, Carson?
So when I talked to the guy, AJ, who covers sports over in Maryland, it sounds like the athletic director is going to give him the rest of the year no matter what.
Okay.
And that's when they make the determination. And we'll see. There's a world, $13 million too much. You got a good freshman quarterback. Let's hit the portal a little good, and let's run it back. Because Mike Loxley, let's give him some credit, he wins his non-conference games. Maryland is a team that usually goes to bowl games. So, you can make an argument like, hey, this guy always recruits. He's a good spread offensive mind. He's a good play caller. Let's give him one more crack. And I know a lot of Illinois fans remember Mike Bonley. He was the offensive coordinator when Illinois made the Rose Bowl in 2007 with Juice Williams.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a competent head coach. It just 17-45 at the end of the day, that is just not good enough in Big Ten play. So I think Illinois wins big tomorrow. I think it's going to make the seat even hotter. And I'll let the people decide if, Mike's able to stick around at the end of the year. But it sounds like some Maryland people are maybe a little bit fed up. They're already talking about some potential coaches that they could see come in there, like Fran Brown from Syracuse. They think that'd be a good fit. They're looking at Charles Huff from Southern Miss, who's turned them around. The fun one is James Franklin, if you'd be able to pull the trigger and go to Maryland. He used to be their offensive coordinator, and he was the head coach in waiting in 2011, and then they backed away from the deal. So, James recruits. He'd win 8-9 games. It'd be a great hire if you could get him, but sounds like that's not likely.
Well, he would be, if that were to happen, he would definitely be motivated, I would say, with that particular gig. Carson, great stuff, man. Have a great week, and I know you're going to be all over the place, so if you see Carson out and about, buy him a hot dog and a bottle of water or something. We'll talk to you.
I'd appreciate that.
Yeah. We'll talk to you soon, all right, man?
Hey, thanks for having me on, man. Have a great day.
That is Carson Gordy, who does a fantastic job covering the Illini and all local sports for Fox Illinois and WICS Channel 20. That's an ABC affiliate. You can follow him online at Gordy Report. That is GOURDIE Report. All right, we are due for a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk more Illini. I'm loving the show. It's flying by. We're going to talk with Robert Rosenthal, who has been a great guest in the past right here on The Drive, and looking forward to get some of his insight. We'll talk a little hoops with him. Definitely going to talk a lot of football with him. And also, I got to ask him why he didn't warn Evan about stealing Josh Whitman's seat at the post-game presser on Tuesday night. I wonder if that felt like when we heard Evan tell that story, it almost felt like a 9-on-9 Happy Gilmore kind of thing, like Shooter McGavin got him. I don't think Robert would do that, though, do you? We'll talk with Robert Rosenthal in just a bit. It is The Drive.
Got a plumbing, heating, cooling, electrical, or sewer problem? Look no further than Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electric. Locally owned and trusted, Fred's team of professionals is ready to tackle projects both big and small. Why waste time and money on complicated DIY fixes? Fred's experienced team will get the job done right, saving you time, stress, and cash. And when it comes to sewer problems, make sure you call Fred's for a second opinion you can trust. At Fred's, they do it all. No project too big, no project too small. They do insulation, repairs, replacement, and maintenance. And they now offer service agreements. For reliable service, professional expertise, and solutions that work, call Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electric today. 217-586-3863. Or go to fredscu.com. You can always trust Fred's.
We've had a guy change his mind about whether he ever wants to drive, so I do have an open seat, and we're looking for the right guy that wants to work, wants to get a good income that's going to be stable and steady, and work at a place that really is a family atmosphere and respects the drivers and wants to work with them.
And this is a place that gets you home for the weekends, and that's unique in the trucking business.
Every weekend. Yep, they're able to run some loads that generate revenue, and we're unique. We pay off a percentage, so the driver gets a true measure of what that job's worth based on what the customer pays. So they're able to run some loads and still get home and enjoy their family and have some quality home time.
What about getting hold of you if there is a driver that wants a job with Gale Forex Trucking? What would they do?
They can call the office at 765-793-7131. My direct extension is 4. They can email me at timo@gftlog.com.
Tim Onstadt, Gale Forex Trucking, dedicated diesel.
At F&B Wealth Management, it's not just about numbers, it's about people and communities. Hi, I'm Ryan Heiser, President and CEO of Fisher National Bank and F&B Wealth Management. Our team is united by a shared passion for helping you achieve your financial goals. We are equipped and eager to work together to craft personalized financial solutions just for you, including retirement planning, risk management through life insurance, long-term care insurance planning, and investment advisory services. Together, we will celebrate milestones, navigate life's transitions, and build a financial future that reflects your values. Experience the difference of a team that truly cares. Visit investwithfnb.com to learn more about dedicated advisors and start your journey toward a financial confidence today.
F&B Wealth Management is a division of Fisher National Bank. F&B securities are not insured by the FDIC, not a deposit or other obligation of or guaranteed by the depository institution, subject to investment risks, including possible loss of the principal amount invested. Securities, insurance, and investment advisory services are offered through Midwestern Securities Trading Company, LLC, MSTC, member FINRA, SIPC, MSTC, and F&B are not affiliated.
F&B Wealth Management, supporting exceptional communities full of exceptional people.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this.
Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $200 into something bigger when you bet on money line, spread, totals, player props.
$200 in bonus bets when new customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet from now on. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Illinois. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow right here in Champaign-Urbana can switch you over so you can start saving today. Kurt and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. It's easy to switch and save. Just give them a call when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Messages did not prove racial motivation, instead agreeing with prosecutors that the men acted on pent-up racial anger. Greg and Travis McMichael and neighbor William Roddy Bryan pursued Arbery as he jogged through their neighborhood and recorded the fatal shooting. Their arrests came only after the video leaked, sparking national outrage. Carmen Roberts, Fox News.
The FAA just announcing it plans to roll back some of the restrictions on commercial flights that it began phasing in 1 week ago at 40 major airports during the government shutdown. That order has affected thousands of flights. 3 Chinese astronauts back on Earth after a longer than expected stay in space.
They were there since April and stayed put on China's Tiangong space station for an extra 9 days because their return ride, the Shenzhou 20 descent module, had tiny cracks in a window, likely from space debris. The astronauts went home on the Shenzhou 21, which had flown to the station by a new 3-person crew to start their own 6-month mission. The capsule landed in the Gobi Desert in China. The astronauts came back with 4 mice who'd been on the Shenzhou 21 trip to study how weightlessness would affect them. The Chinese Academy of Science says the mice adapted to the microgravity environment in a very short period of time and that they could eat, drink, and sleep on their own. Chris Foster, Fox News.
Those astronauts spent 204 days in orbit. That's a record for China's space program. Could have been worse on Wall Street. The Dow dropping another 309 points, but that's off session lows. The S&P slipping just 3 points. The NASDAQ finishing up 30. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
The Drive with Curtis Allen and Evan Stone on ESPN 93.5.
Yes, sir. It is an Illini heavy day. It's ESPN Radio 93.5. I'm Curtis Allen. Appreciate you spending some of your Friday with us. Lots to get to. Another check of your Illini headlines on the way. I'll throw a couple curveballs at you, do some Friday toast. But right now, very, very excited to have on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line with us our guy, Robert Rosenthal, the publisher of IlliniBoard.com. Robert, how are you doing, sir?
I mean, it's, November 14th, and it's 74 degrees and sunny. I couldn't be better.
Let's go, man. Let's get a couple of beers or something and hang outside and enjoy some football. I think that would be the way to go. I got to ask you right away. Well, first of all, before I ask any questions, I want to say thank you. Thank you for helping Evan get through State Farm Center and press row and all that the other night, because he came in here on Wednesday and he was singing your praises. He said he held my hand and he got me through.
Well, let me tell you the funny part of that story. So, he hadn't received his parking pass, which means he had to find parking. And he sent me a text just before as he's wandering around, like, where do I park? And I don't have media parking. Where do I go? I'm like, hey, I'm on my way there right now. Let's just park your car somewhere. You can ride in with me. We'll park right in the media lot and go right into the city. So he was good with that. So we found, some free meter spaces that are open after 6 p.m. But I wasn't thinking that where we parked him, which was basically where my old dorm was, Forbes Hall at First and Gregory. It was great. He parked in the meter spot there and didn't have to pay anything, and I drove right to the media lot, and we got into the State Farm Center, this and that. But afterwards, he then had to walk all the way to his car. So I don't know how much I saved him in the long run. Like, hey, Evan, let's park you as far away as possible. I'll give you a ride there, but then you've got to walk back in the cold. You're welcome.
Oh, I love it. And here's another thing. So Wednesday's show, we get an hour into the show, Robert, and then he lays this nugget out there. He's like, yeah, and I was sitting in this chair at the post-game presser, and the security guard comes up to me and goes, hey, you're in the director's chair. And he's like, I don't know, what does that mean? Who's the director? No, you need to get out of that chair. That's the director's chair. Well, who's the director? You're sitting in Whitman's chair. Get up. And he's like, oh, and he turns around, and like Whitman was just kind of down the hall waiting to get it, or like a few spots over waiting to sit down. So why did you leave him hanging on that?
Athletic director, yes. Yes. I have never made that mistake, so I enjoy the story.
See? And again, he's like, director, what do you mean? You talking De Niro or not De Niro? Scorsese? Is this Scorsese going to sit down? There you go. No, you're the athletic director. I love it. All right. Well, let's jump into this. You've been doing a great job for a long time covering Illini athletics, and I saw you multiple times on TV during the Illini basketball win over Texas Tech. Let's start there real quick. What did you see out of that Illini team? How fun was the atmosphere on Tuesday night, and what are your expectations for tonight's game against Colgate?
I'm excited for tonight. I am currently trying to apply every possible brake to my brain. The parking brake, the air brakes, the main brakes. I cannot slow my brain down to, wow, this team could be really, really good once they're at full strength, and how far does that travel? And, oh, by the way, if they're a protected seed in the Midwest region, they would get St. Louis, then Chicago, and then the Final Four is in Indy. Like, my brain is going in all those directions, and I'm trying to get something out there to slow me down. Everything looks good right now.
It does look really good right now, and Andrej Stojakovic jumped off the page, so to speak, on Tuesday night. It was definitely a coming-out party for him where, the previous game, and I'll quote Evan, he said the things looked a little sticky in that first half with Andre's first appearance in an Illini uniform, but what you saw Tuesday night was the exact opposite. It looked like a star was being born right in front of our eyes.
Yeah, it's the crazy thing so far through 3 games, and again, it's way early, but every piece is there. You know, freshman guard, maybe star, got it. Slasher who can get to the basket when the threes aren't falling. Okay, that's the big man who can block shots. Haven't had one of those in a while. Yep, got that. Guy who just comes in and maybe can hit some threes. Okay, that should be Hummerkraus. All right, lead guard who can make the whole thing go. Yep, got one of those. Big man who can pass from the point. Well, it's got 2 of those in Ivisic and Merkovich. So it's like you just go through the checklist of what makes a good college basketball team, and all of those pieces are there. So, yeah, it's hard to slow down my brain right now because this team could be legitimately top 10, top 5 good.
ESPN Radio 93.5, it is The Drive. I'm Curtis Allen. Evan is off today. Robert Rosenthal on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line with us. Robert, the publisher of Illini Board. So this Colgate team that Illini will be taking on tonight, we've talked a lot about this over the last hour, but it's a team that shouldn't be overlooked, quite frankly. They're a pretty talented bunch with a pretty good history, including a couple of players that were on the roster the last time these two teams played in 2023 in guard Jalen Cox. Have you kind of dove into those numbers a little bit, or do you have any sort of expectations out of Colgate for tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I know they gave Michigan State a game in their opener. I was watching that score that night. I'm kind of, how do I say it this way? I'm hoping they bring that test because, look, we saw in the first 2 games, you know, both Jackson State and Florida Gulf Coast were completely overmatched. The games were over in seconds. I kind of think like Coach Underwood thinks, which is maybe it's good if it's only a 6-point lead at the half. Maybe that feeling is good of going in at halftime like, wait, nothing's really working. What can we do here? Like, how do we get this rolling? You know, he wants those situations before Alabama happens and before UConn happens and all those games. So it could be maybe that, you know, you look at the rest of the non-conference schedule, it's either you're playing a really good team like UConn or Alabama, or you're playing, you know, Texas, Rio Grande Valley, and all these, you know, teams that are probably not going to put up much of a fight. Right. So the hope here is that there's a legitimate, hey, maybe this is that middle of the road. Remember when they were tested by Oakland a couple of years ago? Hey, you know, okay, this is a decent little non-conference that's still going to win, but it's good to get into these games. So I think that maybe is the hope, but again, this team is so talented that here I am talking to myself and, maybe Colgate can give them games so they can be tested, but they'll still win. No, probably going to win by 30. That's where my brain's at.
Well, then let's switch gears to we'll go from one game that could potentially be a blowout to another one, except this one will be at Geese Memorial Stadium. The Illini hosting Maryland tomorrow, 2:30 kickoff. We've talked a lot this week about Mike Loxley's seat being rather hot in Maryland and what this game could mean for his future going forward with that program. They're a team that forces a lot of turnovers. The Illini are a team that don't really turn the ball over a whole lot. What are you looking at for the game tomorrow?
Yeah, it's a good matchup for Illinois. Illinois has struggled with teams that have a solid offense and can really get rolling and everything else. So it's a decent matchup in that sense that Maryland's more of a defensive team than they are an offensive team. I think the scary thing is, you know, kind of what you mentioned as Loxley and his job and this and that. Maryland finishes the year with Michigan State, which is a game they probably think they can win.
Right.
They're not probably going to beat Michigan. And so if they want to go to a bowl at 4-5, they have to win this. there's a desperation to this. If they want to somehow get to a bowl, and maybe that saves Loxley's job, they have to win tomorrow, and they have to beat Michigan State. So, there's a lot of motivation for them. 5-game losing streak, all this stuff to turn around. But also, Luke Altmaier is really, really good. So,
yeah.
Here, I'm doing the same thing here, Curtis. I'm like talking up the other team. We're like, maybe they can give them a game, But it's just that kind of a thing tomorrow. What's the line? 13, 14, something like that.
I believe it's 14.5 right now. The last I saw, 14.5. So yeah.
Yes, the wind could make a difference. There's gusts up to 25, 28 miles an hour tomorrow. We've seen that game in Memorial Stadium in November when the wind is blowing and the offenses are really only productive throwing the ball in 2 of the 4 quarters when they have the wind at their back. So maybe that throws a wrench into this one. But overall, the hope is you take care of business, you put the game away. It looks like the Rutgers game where by the start of the 4th quarter, the game's completely over and everyone can relax because there's zero chance the opponent could win. That should be the type of game because, Maryland, they gave Washington a game, but in other games they've been living off. If we get interceptions, we're pretty good, and if we can't get interceptions, we really struggle. So that's kind of their whole thing this year.
ESPN Radio 93.5. It is The Drive. I'm Curtis Allen. Evan Stone off today. Robert Rosenthal, the publisher of IlliniBoard.com, on the Dick Van Dyke of Plants World phone line with us. Robert, I got to ask you this, and it's about Illini football future. I would imagine we're not going to see Barry Lunney in Champaign next season. I would imagine he will be receiving plenty of head coaching offers. I'm curious what that might mean as well for defensive coordinator Aaron Henry. Give me your thoughts on what you would like to see happen beyond this year with Brett Bielema's staff.
I, for whatever reason, am not one that thinks Lunney moves on after this year.
Okay.
And the only reason for that is because, look, it's a longer answer, but everything has kind of changed with NIL, and now we're in the revenue sharing era.
Mm-hmm.
And in this era, there are opportunities to keep coordinators. Let's say the Central Michigan job comes open, or Eastern Michigan is open, or whatever. Does Lunney want to go do that?
Right.
He would make way, way more money as the Illinois offensive coordinator than Eastern Michigan head coach. We saw Chip Kelly leave head coach at UCLA just to be offensive coordinator at Ohio State. I'm not saying Illinois is paying those prices, but I'm saying as things consolidate in the revenue sharing era under the Big Ten and the SEC are here, and then the other conferences are all kind of down here, it allows those Big Ten and SEC teams to pay their coordinators probably more than they'll make as a head coach elsewhere. So I could very much easily see a scenario where that kind of offer is made, and that's more attractive than trying to build a program. Now, look, maybe he wants to be a head coach, or maybe a top 10 program comes along and says, hey, we can pay you $2.6 million to be the coordinator or something stupid. Maybe that happens. We don't know. But just the way things happen now and the way everything is consolidated into 2 conferences, it's a big choice for someone to say, do I want to be offensive coordinator at a Big Ten school, or do I want to be the head coach at Akron? And sometimes offensive coordinator now is a lot more attractive and maybe even gets you jobs in the future better than building your own program elsewhere. So that's a consideration that I've had in mind all year, that 5 years ago, sure, you have this kind of offensive year, you're probably moving on, you want to be a head coach someday, you're going to go look for that job at Louisiana Monroe job comes open, and I'm going to build that program and then hopefully move up. there's also the thing of maybe I'll just stay at Illinois and get paid a lot of money to be the offensive coordinator, and that's when the job will come. We'll see.
Great stuff, man. Great perspective, and I think that's a good conversation to have, especially from that side, because it just seems the overall thought has been Lunny's going to be gone, and we'll see what happens with Aaron Henry. But I like the way you put that and kind of open that up. That's something for fans to think about. All right, well, Robert, I want to leave on that note. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy tonight's game at State Farm Center, tomorrow's game at Geese Memorial Stadium. Where can people find you on the socials?
Well, I always tell people, I just am at Illini on Twitter. It's like, at Illini? How did you get at Illini? No. At the letter A, the word lion, Lion, and I, as in your eyeball, EYE. So at Illini. So that's my whole thing that I've had for, 16 years now.
Long time, yes.
And that's where people can find me.
All right. Take care of Evan as he pops in and out for more media experience throughout the rest of the year and into next year, okay?
Look, I have walked into press conferences by walking through the wrong door, and the coaches had to stop while I go to my seat. So I'm fully prepared and ready to share all of my secrets.
That is Robert Rosenthal on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World Phone Line. Thank you so much, man.
Oh, thanks, Curtis.
And again, you can find him on Twitter, on the social, A-Lion-I, as in at Illini, and of course he's the publisher of IlliniBoard.com. Fantastic stuff. It has been an Illini-heavy show. I want to thank all of our guests so far. Cooper Kelly from Champagne Room, who was in studio with us. Cooper, also part of Big Ten Network Plus, doing color commentary there. Kyle Tosk from Illini Inquirer. Carson Gordy from WICS, and now Robert Rosenthal. I'm going to throw some curveballs at you this hour as well. Give ourselves a little brain break from the Illini talk, just a short one. And then we'll do Friday Toast, get into some score predictions as well. Love to get your score predictions on the Max Twin City Recycling text line, 217-359-2255 for either game. Feel free to chime in with both. And also, you still have a little bit of time, just a little bit, to get in the running and win some football tickets for tomorrow's game at Geese Memorial Stadium, courtesy of Parlor Donuts and Jets Pizza. Let's do that right now. Text Illini to 217-359-2255. ILLINI to 217-359-2255. And you just might win some tickets from Jets Pizza, Parlor Donuts, and The Drive.
With like Lands Inc., we specialize in, we've got an amazing HVAC department that takes care of your furnace, your heat system, air conditioning, they do that. Yeah. And for us in Underground, we take care of all your pipes that come into your home, leave your home, and work around your home to keep it dry, your drainage system, sump pumps, things like that. And exactly what you said, if you don't know, a couple decades ago, it was more like, oh, something broke, go fix it, repair it, no big deal. Well, now with the technology, we have cameras, like you said, that we can come in on these Orange Comfort Clubs, and we can camera your sewer lines underneath your house and check them out just to make sure they're fine. If there's something wrong with it, we can show you right then. Truth is in seeing it. Yeah. We show it to you, and then you can plan as a homeowner for making those repairs or dealing with that issue later on. If it's an immediate need, at least you're not caught off surprise.
That sewer camera inspection with a proper clean out, I was just learning more at landsinc.com. Football season has kicked in, and you can bet like a pro with the world's largest sports book at your fingertips. Circus Sports Illinois. It's sports betting the way it should be, with high app limits, low holds, exceptional customer service, and no bet fees ever. Other books may charge you just to get on the field, but with Circus Sports, every play is yours to call. Start betting like a pro from anywhere, anytime in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Just like a great football coach, he comes up with a game plan. He plans on doing the right thing at the right time. Winter is a great time to make home improvements such as new siding, windows, gutters, garage doors, and even phantom screens. So don't get uptight, relax, and enjoy the game. Just don't drop the ball. Call Dillman Brothers and score big. 217-344-8290. You can also contact us by email on our website, DILLMANBrothers.com. Get your exterior in shape. No rookies, only pros at Dillman Brothers.
You've set your financial goals. One kid plans to go Big Ten, the other Ivy. Your bucket list includes seaside sunrises and sunsets on the slopes, or perhaps a second home away from it all. Busey Bank can help develop the right investment strategy to take charge of the years ahead. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
How about these Illini?
Fighting Illini family, this is Kenna Phelan from Illinois Volleyball. We are fighting for the Big Ten crown, and we need Huff Hull rocking with that home court energy as we play the second half of conference play.
Slide, block Illinois! Here's the match, Philpott, yes! That's an orange and blue victory!
Be early and be loud. Tickets are available at fightingillini.com. Our fans make the difference, and we can't wait to see you there. ILL.
Swings, and it's a high fly ball. That's hit deep, way back. It's a gouger and a game winner.
Busch Stadium is more than a ballpark. It's where traditions live on. Season tickets keep you at the heart of it all, game after game. Feel the energy of every pitch, celebrate every walk-off win, and create memories that last a lifetime. Plus, enjoy exclusive benefits and experiences available only for season ticket holders. Don't miss your chance to be part of the 2026 season. Unlock your benefits now at cardinals.com/season tickets.
Sarah Champagne managing partner Ben Quattrone.
We're always looking for people. You can go online and apply on our website. We never know what we're going to need. We're always expanding. We're always building more and growing our business. If we don't need a person and they come along and we find out that they're an eagle, they're a star, we'll hire them. We'll put them somewhere and wait for the spot we're going to have them working.
Learn more at sarahchampagne.com.
The Drive with Curtis Allen and Evan Stone on ESPN 93.5.
Welcome back into The Drive, ESPN Radio 93.5. I'm Curtis Allen. Evan Stone off today. Evan be back in his usual spot on Monday. We've had just a great lineup for an all-Illini Friday. Cooper O'Kelly from Champagne Room and Big Ten Plus was in studio with us. The great Kyle Tosk from Illini Inquirer talked hoops on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line. So did Carson Gordy from WICS. And Carson talked basketball and Illini football with us. And then we just spoke about both, mostly football, although he's very excited about basketball, with Robert Rosenthal from IlliniBoard.com. So it's been a very, very good one. Appreciate everybody spending some time with all of us. Now, we got more Illini stuff to get to. We'll go ahead real quick and let's get a check of those Illini headlines as well. And your thoughts at 217-359-2255. Feel free to chime in on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World text line. But Illini headlines, of course, Illinois men's basketball tonight. State Farm Center taking on Colgate. Tomorrow, Illinois football at Geese Memorial Stadium taking on the Maryland Terps. 2:30 kickoff time for that one. It is also Military Appreciation Day at Geese Memorial Stadium. Illini women's basketball on the road tonight, taking on Oregon State. Tip-off is at 8 o'clock. You can find that on ESPN+. Illini volleyball back at home tonight at Huff Hall. They're going to play with the Washington Huskies. It's shorts night. That means jeans shorts, so dress appropriately. If you don't know, look up John Cena. You'll find what jorts look like. Also, it is hydration helmet giveaway night as well. So I think that means like the helmets, you could put a couple of, if you're under 21, you can put a couple of pops in, a couple of Sprites. If you're over 21, you can probably put a couple of beers in with the straws. But anyways, hydration helmet giveaway is tonight. That match is on Big Ten Plus. And looking ahead, Illini swimming and diving head to Iowa next weekend for the Hawkeye Invitational. Max Twin City Recycling text line. Chris Graves from Paris chiming in. A little Tyler Childress playing in the background. You got it, baby. Very nice indeed. You got it. Our guy Big Def chiming in says, Luke, just be Luke. Talking about tomorrow. Big Def always sends in lots of great stuff on the text line as well. We'll get into some of that. But we're going to give ourselves a little palate cleanser, okay? Just let the brain charge down a little bit.
Curtis's curveballs.
And Duck, throw some curveballs at you, sports adjacent or otherwise. These are usually where I test Evan's brain, but Evan's off today, so I'm going to test yours. All right, here we go. If you are into fitness, I don't mean fitness pizza on your mouth. I mean the latest hot fitness trend. Well, here you go. It's on social media. It is the 3x3 by 12 p.m. challenge. All right. The goal is to complete 3,000 steps and consume 30 grams of protein before noon every day. Now, I do the 6x6 9 a.m. challenge. I hit snooze 6 times, 6 cups of coffee, all before 9 a.m. And yes, there's hazelnut in the coffee. No shame in my game. A wacky but true headline. This one was in Thailand. It said, ice cream vendor goes on the attack. In Thailand, an ice cream vendor attacked a dentist with a small sword, breaking his arm, cutting his face, and other injuries. The attacker assaulted the dentist because 3 years earlier he mistreated the man by leaving an infected tooth in his mouth and pulling a healthy one. Ooh, that's rough, dude. The worst, and I don't want to go through it again. I had to have a root canal one time. It was like 2 years ago, year and a half ago maybe. I went in for a cleaning. I don't have bad teeth. Preface it with, I went in for a cleaning, but the dentist's like, hey man, we need to really look at this one tooth. Something's a little off with this one back tooth. He's like, you need a root canal. Holy moly, that was a day, a whirlwind. All right, here's another wacky but true headline. This one from Germany, where a woman was pulled over because she bared her bosoms. A German woman was stopped for a routine traffic violation. Yes, I said bosoms. When the officer asked her for her license, she bared her breasts and then sped away. She was corralled in a dead-end street a few minutes later, but then locked herself in the car, refused to come out, and police finally broke a window and snatched the car keys. She was not cut by the glass. She was fine. And finally, hope I didn't spoil this one, finally, the average man uses up to 60 hours a year doing this. What is it? Any guesses? Let me know on the Max Twin City Recycling text line, 217-359-2255. Again, the average man uses up to 60 hours a year doing this. What is it? One text just came in from the 217. Changing socks. I don't know. That's a good guess. That's a good one. Someone's texting me on my phone. I'm not even going to look at that one. They got to use the Max Twin City Recycling text line. The answer is shaving. The average man uses 60 hours a year shaving our faces. And those are your curveballs for your Friday. Is your brain feeling okay now? There you go. 217-359-2255 is your number to chime in on the Max Twin City Recycling text line. We will get to some score predictions in just a few, but I do want to back up to something that Robert Rosenthal just touched on. I think this is a really interesting conversation in regards to offensive coordinator Barry Lunney. Most people that we have spoken to on the drive, or when we talk about Illini, or just fans in general, when they're chiming in on the text line, the expectation is that Lunney is out the door after Luke Altmaier is done this year. I thought that was a very interesting take from Robert to go the other way and present the option for why he thinks Lunney will stay in Champaign. In particular, a lot of it dollars and cents. You're going to make more money as an OC here with the Illini than being the head coach at a smaller school. Also some familiarity with the current backup quarterbacks, talking about what could be in the transfer portal as well, because quite frankly, nobody knows just yet what's going to be in the portal. That's a fair point. You don't know what backup quarterback from a major SEC team that wants some playing time could be, man, that should be my starting job that's going to go into the portal. Or if there's another player that's starting somewhere now, that's, I need a change of pace. Whatever's going on here isn't for me. Maybe I need to check out the portal. Maybe let's see what's going on at the University of Illinois, if those dollars are there, especially with the shared revenue era that Robert mentioned. So a really, really interesting take. Now, I'm not going one way or the other. I have said more than once that I think Lunney's probably out the door, and understandably so. He's been very, very successful here. Very successful. It's been fun to watch this offense develop with him and with Luke Altmaier under center. It's been great. But I I see where he's going out the door. But I am curious if other people could agree with Robert. Want to hear from you either way. 217-359-2255. That's the number. Some score predictions rolling in from John and Camargo. I like this one on the text line. Okay, first one, football. Illinois 48, Maryland 17. Basketball for tonight, Illini 91, Aquafresh 59. Aquafresh. That's well done, sir. It isn't. That's an interesting point about Colgate, because apparently 1 out of 10 dentists hate Colgate. Just despise it. It's weird. 217-359-2255. What are your expectations? We're looking beyond this year. I know that we've got about a month and change left in this Illini football season, but beyond it, what are your expectations for the offense? What do you think happens with Barry Lunney? Love to get your feedback. 217-359-2255. We got to take a break. We'll get into some of your texts, your score predictions as well in regards to tonight's basketball game at State Farm Center, tomorrow's football game at Geese Memorial Stadium. John and Camargo, appreciate you chiming in with your score predictions. Big Def, appreciate your text rolling in as well. What do you think? Want to hear from you. It's an Illini Heavy Friday, and it's all next on The Drive.
You know, with like Lands Inc., we specialize in, we've got an amazing HVAC department that takes care of your furnace, you know, your heat system, air conditioning, they do that. Yeah. And for us in Underground, we take care of all your pipes that come into your home, leave your home, and work around your home to keep it dry, you know, your drainage system, sump pumps, things like that. And exactly what you said, if you don't know, you know, a couple decades ago, it was more like, oh, something broke, go fix it, repair it, no big deal. Well, now with the technology, we have cameras, like you said, that we can come in on these orange comfort clubs, and we can camera your sewer lines underneath your house and check them out just to make sure they're fine. If there's something wrong with it, we can show you right then. You know, truth is in seeing it. Yeah. We show it to you, and then you can plan as a homeowner for making those repairs or dealing with that issue later on. If it's an immediate need, at least you're not caught off surprise.
That sewer camera inspection with a proper clean out, I was just learning more at landsinc.com.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking that local hometown feel? Look no further than Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Customers rave about their friendly, established staff, as well as their great selection, amazing prices, and second-to-none delivery service. They're a third-generation local business, and they've always got your best interests at heart. Find the look you love for less. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, but always available online at kelseyfurniture.com. That's kelseyfurniture.com.
Sarah Champagne's Ben Quattrone on keeping his employees.
It's got to be the place to work. We have to pay the best. We have to treat people the best. Some of the guys wanted to order pizza the other day. Well, we bought 30 Papa Del's pizzas. BMW had the best month they've ever had. They said, can we have a cookout? Saturday, I cooked like 50 ribeye steaks. And they were expecting like cheeseburgers, burgers and hot dogs and stuff. Like, if I'm eating steak, you're eating steak. We both eat steak, we both eat hamburger.
Learn more at sarahchampagne.com.
At the UPS Store, we have everything to help small business owners be unstoppable. So if you need packing and shipping, we'll be the packing and shipping store.
I could use a little help. I've got 78 orders to ship out.
We're here to help. Our certified packing experts care like you care and can pack and ship just about anything.
The UPS Store can help small business owners be unstoppable with our packing and shipping services. Our certified packing experts can handle it all. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable. The UPS Store locations are independently owned. Product, services, pricing, and hours may vary. See Center for details.
Just like a great football coach, he comes up with a game plan. He plans on doing the right thing at the right time. Winter is a great time to make home improvements such as new siding, windows, gutters, garage doors, and even phantom screens. So don't get uptight, relax, and enjoy the game. Just don't drop the ball. Call Dillman Brothers and score big. 217-344-8290. You can also contact us by email on our website, DILLMANbrothers.com. Get your exterior in shape. No rookies, only pros at Dillman Brothers.
Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow is ready to help you combine home and auto and save right here in Champaign-Urbana. Call 352-1411 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Average annual per household savings based on a 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm.
ESPN Radio 93.5, it is The Drive. I'm Curtis Allen and Evan Stone.
The Drive with Curtis Allen and Evan Stone on ESPN 93.5.
Evan did that from far away. Evan Stone is off today. Or at least I thought he was. I thought Evan was taking the day off, but then I get this phone call on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line, and lo and behold, the man is joining us right now. Where are you, sir?
I have no idea.
Are you in Illinois? Are you in Kentucky? Are you in Ohio? Where did you go? I mean, I know.
We're in Illinois. I think
Go ahead.
Well, I just saw a sign for Clay City, whatever that is.
Thank you to our listeners in Clay City. We appreciate you very, very much.
Yeah, Whipper Johnson's running for sheriff down here. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of stuff going on in Southern Illinois. But, yeah, we're doing fine. We're doing okay. Hey, Big Def just texted in something big.
Well, we got a nice text here from Big Def, and I'll read it to you from the Max Twin City Recycling text line. He says, no formal Big Def keys to the game today. I'm in Buffalo to see Paul McCartney tonight, and I ziplined down the Canadian side of Niagara Falls this morning. The most interesting man in the world is Big Def. Think about what I just said. This is the start of his text, Evan. He ziplined down the Canadian side of Niagara Falls this morning. He's going to see Paul McCartney live in concert tonight. And you're where?
I'm in Clay City.
Yeah.
Clay City with Whipper Johnson.
Yeah.
And Big Def is ziplining and going to see the Beatles.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So that was the start of his text, and then he went on to talk. We were talking football. He said, Luke, just be Luke. Defense to the side of being super aggressive against average quarterbacks, subpar receivers, and poor run blocking. I'm talking borderline Manny Diaz aggressive tomorrow. Feeling pretty good about the game if Brett stays with overriding Aaron Henry like last game. 32-16 Illini. Let's double them up, says Big Def. And then he sent in a picture as well of himself at Niagara Falls, far and away the most interesting man in the world, and ziplining with Paul McCartney. So he's doing better than us, I think.
I'm going to need a picture of him with Paul McCartney tonight. I guarantee he's going to have one.
He will. Yeah, Big Def will have one. He'll be like, sorry, guys, couldn't watch the game against Colgate, hanging out with Paul McCartney backstage. I think that's probably going to happen.
Yeah. So everybody feeling good about the game tonight? Is that the vibe?
The vibe is overwhelmingly positive. Here's what I would tell you. We had a great lineup in your absence, and big thanks to everybody that stepped up and helped out today, including Cooper O'Kelly, who writes for the Champagne Room. He also does some color commentary for Big Ten Plus. Carson Gordy from WICS. Robert Rosenthal joined us, and Robert, he had even more fun details about your adventure Tuesday night, sir, which I'll ask you about in a moment. But also, the great Kyle Toss from Illini Inquirer. And if there was one person who made it a point to let you know that this Colgate team is not a slouch, it was Kyle. And that this is a game that you can't just kind of step out on the court and expect to win. The Illini are going to have to put forth that effort, as you would expect against a Texas Tech or an Alabama tonight, with a Colgate team that almost pulled off a big win against Michigan State on opening night.
Yeah, I think we talked about this the other day, that it's not one of those teams that you can just roll in and just beat.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to focus on. And I was going back through the schedule, and I saw that, man, they played Michigan State tough. Now, Michigan State's been played tough by a couple of crappy teams. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy in Tom Izzo. But I think this is a game where the focus has got to be there when it's sandwiched in between Texas Tech and Alabama. So I need to see some good focus tonight.
And, to that point, real quick, sorry, I don't mean to jump around, but we got a text from Heath Hamilton on the text line. He says, Evan's about 15 miles away from my hometown of Olney. I know where Olney is. I don't know why I didn't think of Clay City being it, but it was really because I only go to Olney back in the day. I'd only go there twice a year, maybe 3 times a year. So, yeah, you're not that far from Olney, home of another Tigers team, by the way. Scott and Terre Haute asked if I get your pay today since I'm flying solo. I probably should. Although I think is that why you're calling in? You're still going to try to collect some money today by calling in to say you did the show?
I still get to count this show, and also I'm not sure what you did. You just listed like 7 guests. So it's like, what am I even needed for? Apparently, you can just talk to all your friends.
Well, they all are. Well, they're your friends first, okay? Now they're my friends. I feel like Rosenthal and I are now besties, especially since we shared a good. You didn't tell me the story about you had to go park your car elsewhere, and then he came and picked you up to take you to State Farm Center.
Yeah, it was a wild night. Every time we talk, a new moment from the night comes up. So, yeah, and then it was one of those things where he drove me in, and like I said, he attached the leash to my backpack and walked me into the State Farm Center so I didn't get lost. And then after the game, it was like, well, I'm not going to bother him. I went to the press conference, and then I walked out, and it was like that. If you've ever seen that GIF of, like, John Travolta from Pulp Fiction kind of looking around like, well, nobody's here.
Yeah.
And so that was me, and I just had to walk the 1.5 miles back to my car. But it was a good, brisk walk. It felt nice. It was a beautiful evening. And so it was fine. It all worked out.
Well, if I'd have known that had happened, I'd have got you an Uber or something, man. So maybe next time. So
I was looking for a VO ride.
Oh, there you go. That would have been nice. Well, we've got another break to get. I want to get to it here in just a few, our next break, obviously. But before I hop off the phone with you, the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line, sir, let's get some score predictions from you. We'll start with the game tonight, Illinois basketball against Colgate.
From me?
Yes, from you.
I did a prediction yesterday.
Oh, that's right. You did your prediction yesterday. I'm in such a whirlwind
and
with
now
my
you're
new
asking
friends.
Me to remember what I predicted.
I'm in such a whirlwind with my new buddies. I guess I forgot that you had a thought about that. That's my fault. I'm sorry.
I don't remember what I said. I said something that was a big win for the Illini. No cavities tonight.
No cavities. I do remember you saying that. And you had a nice you had the Illini covering as well. I know that from football. You had them covering on Saturday. So it was a 2-touchdown is what Vegas is calling it right now. But do you remember that one?
Yeah, I said football. I said 42-17.
42-17. And actually, you know what? I found the audio here of you predicting the basketball score.
No.
There you go. There it is.
I'm glad I can't escape the sound bites, even in, I just passed Bible Grove.
There you go,
Bible Grove, Illinois, and I still get sound bites.
Oh, I'm so glad you were able to call in. It was a nice little surprise, and I'm looking forward to you being back in the studio on Monday, sir.
Okay, here's a toast to you for running that show solo. Good job.
Man, I appreciate that. All right, well, Evan, safe travels, and we'll see you on Monday, all right? I'll text you here in a bit, too.
Okay, I'll be there.
All right. That's Evan Stone, the co-host of The Drive, calling in unexpectedly, which I love, on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line. Much appreciate that. The texts are rolling in, 217-359-2255 with your score predictions. Before we get into those, I got to do one quick thank you, and that is to Busey, our fine sponsor here on The Drive, that want to let you know that Small Business Saturday is coming up, November 29th. That's Small Business Saturday. That's when we celebrate and support local small businesses and all they do for our communities, with around 31.7 million small businesses in the country that make up for more than 99% of all businesses. It's no secret that small businesses are the lifeblood of the American economy. So how can you participate? Well, find small businesses to support as a customer. Every time you pick up a cup of coffee from your favorite neighborhood cafe or buy a gift from a local artist online, you're shopping small and making a difference. Also, market yourself as a small business owner. American Express offers free materials, including sample posters, social media resources, and shop small map listings. You can also check with your local Chamber of Commerce or local business association as well. Lots of towns plan promotions around Small Business Saturday, and also just support local businesses as a community organization. In an effort to support their communities, organizations across the country serve as neighborhood champions. These supporters serve their communities with events and activities on Small Business Saturday and all year long. Busey invites you to shop local Small Business Saturday, November 29th. You might even discover your new favorite store. Member FDIC. All right, we're up against it. We got to get to a break. Keep those score predictions coming. John and Camargo correcting Evan for his basketball prediction that it was 96-68. Thank you very much, John and Camargo, on the Max Twin City Recycling text line. Love to hear your score predictions for tonight and tomorrow. Basketball and football, 217-359-2255. Gonna take a break. When we come back, I'll throw out my score predictions for tonight and tomorrow, and also Friday Toast. That's next on The Drive.
Honey, can't wait for you to see your Christmas present this year. It's going to be great.
Well, hope it's better than last year.
The diamond necklace with the matching earrings?
Read the room, honey, and that room is our kitchen.
I'm listening.
Here, listen to Paul Reekin from Dick Van Dyke Appliance World.
Hello.
He's here?
It's Black November, and the sale prices at Dick Van Dyke Appliance World are perfect for the holiday season.
Paul, we need a kitchen.
GE Profile Kitchen Package deals are $720 off with rebate, plus a free 10-year protection plan.
Now that's a gift that keeps on giving.
For 10 years.
And I'll see it more than my diamond necklace.
Paul, how about a laundry pair?
Oh, honey, now you're talking.
Electrolux front-load laundry pairs with pedestals are starting at $1,300 off with rebate.
With these savings, I can still get that new set of golf matching diamond bracelet.
Oh.
Looks like my job here is done.
Paul, one other thing. Do you gift wrap refrigerators?
Wow.
Big Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
There's something special about Monaco's Pizza. Maybe it's the friendly faces that greet you like family, or the thin, crispy crust that's been a hometown favorite since 1959. Whether you're craving classic thin crust, hearty pan, gluten-free, or our one-of-a-kind point pizza, every bite feels like coming home. So grab your family, your friends, or just your appetite and make tonight a Monaco's night. Monaco's Pizza, people-pleasing people since 1959. So talk to me about delivery, timing. What if it's, talking December, I could never get delivered by Christmas, could I?
We're going to run a Get It Before Christmas offer, and we have our delivery crews poised and ready to take anything and everything and get it out to you as soon as possible, in some cases the next day. So we are ready to go. We've got a lot of furniture in stock, sofas, mattresses, recliners, a lot of gift items this time of year as well. So we are IL Home Stores online. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and our website is ashley.com.
Take charge of the years ahead with a smart, sound investment strategy and business succession plan. Busey Bank's business and wealth management experts help you envision your best future with powerful insights and proven strategies. Building business and growing wealth since 1868. Busey Bank, proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Guys, don't propose with a ring that she didn't pick out. Trust us, she already has a ring in mind. So engage with Gage Diamonds, in person or online, where Gage's skilled ring designers will work with her to create the perfect setting, matched with the perfect stone. Gage specializes in exquisite lab-grown diamonds. Financing available. GageDiamonds.com. We're engagement's middle name.
This week, it's the one sale pet lovers can't afford to miss. The Pets Pick Flooring event at Carpet Weaver's Flooring and Furniture Gallery. First, get a free labor credit on every carpet and floor. Get a $50 labor credit for every 100 feet you buy. Get up to a $1,000 rebate on great pet-friendly carpets and floors from Shaw. Ask how you can get free accessories or area rugs from your furniture purchase. And buy it all with 2 years free financing. The Pets Pick Flooring event, going on now at Carpet Weaver's Flooring and Furniture Gallery.
The Drive with Curtis Allen and Evan Stone on ESPN 93.5.
ESPN Radio 93.5. It is The Drive. I'm Curtis Allen. Evan was supposed to be off today, and he just surprised us on the Dick Van Dyke Appliance World phone line calling in. Appreciate that. He's down in, well, he was down in southern Illinois. It sounds like he might be heading back up north right now. Could be. Don't know. But it was great to hear from him. It's been an all Illini, I'm going to go ahead and say all-star lineup we've had today. This has been a lot of fun. I came into the station today. I knew I had guests lined up. But it's always a little weird when you're kind of flying solo doing this show. And so big thanks to first Cooper O'Kelly from the Champagne Room and Big Ten Plus for joining me in studio, giving some great insight on Illini football. And then, speaking of great, the great Kyle Tosk, our guy. We love him. From Illini Inquirer, he talked plenty about Illini hoops with us. If you missed that, that's on the way. And then Carson Gordy from WICS. And Carson, our conversation with him was fascinating to me because he had some great insight into what's going on with Maryland, Mike Locksley, and just how hot that seat is, what a loss to Illinois could mean. So fascinating stuff. If you missed any of that, check it out wherever you get your podcasts. Also, more with those guys on the way in just a few. And we talked with Robert Rosenthal earlier this hour as well. And then Evan called in, and out of nowhere, it was great. He was down by Olney. Where do you say? Clay City, I think that's where he said he was at the time when he called, and then I think he got lost, and who knows where he is right now. But just great to have all these guests on. So thank you to everybody that joined us today. And score predictions rolling in on the Max Twin City Recycling text line. Appreciate this. Scott and Terre Haute, who chimed in just a moment ago with his score prediction. 113-75 for Illini hoops tonight. Football tomorrow, 34-24. Appreciate that very much, Scott. Appreciate that. Feel free to also send in your score predictions on our socials at The Drive 935. And we'll get to Friday Toast in just a moment. So I figure I probably ought to do my score predictions for tonight and tomorrow, for that matter. I feel pretty good about what I saw Tuesday night out of this Illini basketball team. I said this earlier in the show. Andrei Stojakovic looked like a star being born before our very eyes. It was very, very impressive. He jumped off the page, so to speak. He stuck out like a sore thumb in a great way in that game against a program like Texas Tech. His coming out party was really exciting, and to have a backcourt that can include him and Kylan Boswell should excite a lot of Illini fans. We've talked a lot about how this team still not 100% healthy, and normally when you say that, that's a scary, scary thing for fans. That is not good news. But you're looking at this Illini team and thinking they're not healthy yet, and how good could they be? Having said that, tonight, looking at the basketball game between the Illini and Colgate, I'm going to say Illini 94, Colgate 63. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with that spread. I'm gonna go with that 30+ point. I'm gonna go Illini 94, Colgate 63. Tomorrow, the football game at Geese Memorial Stadium. Maryland is always pesky, man. They are always pesky. The defense is much better than it has been advertised with the Terps. Having said that, I do expect an Illini W. I expect a strong game from Luke Altmaier. I do think that Malik Washington can give this defense some problems. I'm going to go Illinois 30, Maryland 17. That'll be my prediction. I hope that the Illini put up more than 30 on the board. I hope it is a blowout. But I'm going to go Illini 30, Maryland 17. Those are my score predictions for tonight's basketball game and tomorrow's football game. Jay Money says Illini football win by 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Love it, man. That's great. Appreciate that. Now let's do some Friday toast. I was thinking about this. Like, who can I really, is there somebody I should single out and make a toast to this person or this group? This is not a cop-out in any way. I want to preface it with that. We are 4 months